We are currently living through a technological transformation that is advancing at an absolutely breakneck speed. High-level experts aren't just excited about this shift. They are actively raising serious alarms regarding its implications. You need to forget about the internet and even the age of mobile technology, because this is something entirely different. This emerging force is truly comparable in scale only to the foundational discovery of electricity or the original harnessing of fire. However, this same pursuit represents an undeniably huge and critical moment that will define the future for all of humanity. The moment true artificial general intelligence arrives will effectively divide all recorded human history into two distinct and separate eras. For the highly intelligent and strategic mind, this entire development cannot be treated like some sort of short-term investment gamble. This unprecedented new power carries the serious potential for misuse, potentially enabling wars that unfold faster than human comprehension allows. A true superintelligence will certainly possess the capability to completely outsmart the world's most complex financial markets. Furthermore, it could easily out-invent every single dedicated research team working anywhere on the planet. And perhaps most concerningly, it might subdue us using sophisticated weapons systems we are currently unable to even comprehend. Make no mistake, this entire technological epoch represents the single ultimate test of strategic foresight for our species. Given the stakes, our absolute primary objective must be to design and implement this correctly on the very first attempt. Because for the truly independent and intelligent mind, avoiding a lottery ticket approach means deeply understanding the irreversible cost of any failure. In the end, history suggests we will likely only be granted one singular, unrepeatable chance to get this monumentally right. Embarking on the journey toward artificial general intelligence is arguably the most exciting quest humanity has ever undertaken. This massive undertaking is often compared in significance to the discovery of electricity or the harnessing of fire. Despite the grand vision, the sheer financial risk tied to achieving this mission was absolutely enormous. Getting that initial round of funding proved to be an incredibly tough uphill battle for the team. Think about it. Venture capitalists typically review close to 1,000 new projects every single year. From that huge pile of proposals, they end up funding a tiny fraction, sometimes as low as just 1%. What this really means is that for VCs, the answer is a firm no nearly 99% of the time. Early on, a standard investor looked at the AGI proposal and basically dismissed it as just another expensive lottery ticket purchase. That viewpoint shows how traditional finance naturally rejects ventures where massive success feels too dependent on pure luck rather than a proven path. Even after hearing about the world-changing potential, the first prosaic question from investors was always, but how exactly are you planning to make money with a product? This kind of questioning immediately reveals the bias against mission-first endeavors that prioritize a fundamental breakthrough over near-term financial sense. A true strategic genius understands their highest priority is constantly optimizing the performance of their own brainpower. Demis Hassabis himself displayed a remarkable talent for chess from the age of 4, seemingly destined for the professional circuit. His parents treated those intense international chess tournaments like high-stakes final exams that he absolutely had to pass. Despite his evident talent, Hassabis eventually found the grind of professional chess to be incredibly stressful and certainly not enjoyable. After a grueling 10-hour match, he resigned due to one tiny mistake, only to immediately realize he could have forced a draw. That moment made him feel physically sick to his stomach as he began to question if they were all completely wasting their immense intellectual gifts. He mused that if the collective brain power of just 300 people in that room could be properly plugged into a system, they might actually solve cancer. This powerful intuitive feeling washed over him that professional chess was simply not the correct way to spend the entirety of his life's work. Therefore, a high IQ strategist consciously avoids high-stakes games that actively divert precious intellectual energy from truly complex global issues. The true Sigma genius is willing to embrace carefully calculated risks, but will always reject comfortable consensus. DeepMind actively sought investors who were genuinely excited that the project was really cool, rather than just prioritizing the mathematically best investment decision. Their first major backer, Peter Thiel, famously operates on the principle that if everyone agrees on one thing, the opposite might actually be the correct path. It was Hassabis who successfully convinced his colleagues that the only viable path to building AGI was to immediately form a company around it. At just 17 years old, a prominent figure even offered Hassabis £1 million to completely skip going to university. Hassabis famously refused that massive sum because, quite simply, he already had a very clear and established plan in mind. This choice clearly showed he prioritized his personal mission of exploring the absolute edge of human knowledge over instant financial gain. The founders deliberately kept DeepMind based in London, actively resisting Silicon Valley's culture of quickly abandoning projects that weren't immediately successful. They instinctively knew that a decades-long fundamental research challenge demands organizational stability, not Silicon Valley's cycle of short-term financial pressures. For this level of genius, time is the most non-renewable resource, making any frivolous or distracting venture completely unacceptable. Eventually, DeepMind was acquired by Google for a reported sum of about £400 million. Interestingly, many of their investors actually did not want to sell their shares at that point, but the founders firmly insisted on the move. They collectively decided the acquisition was the absolute best catalyst for the mission, even if it wasn't the absolute maximum financial payout possible. Hassabis even acknowledged they were arguably underselling the company's true value, because, strategically, there was simply no time left to waste. He strategically asked the audience how many billions they would trade for just 5 more years of life, dedicated to completing their critical work. This perfectly demonstrates that the highest strategic thinking protects one's personal timeline and mental focus far above the pursuit of speculative wealth. The core objective is to conquer massive problems, like protein folding and disease, while the primary brain's intellectual power is still fully engaged. The classic tech mantra of move fast and break things is precisely the wrong philosophy for AGI, which demands slow, careful, long-term integrity. DeepMind's core mission was boiled down to building the very first machine, capable of true general learning. Crucially, this system needed to be truly general, meaning it couldn't just be trained to master one singular specific task. The team ultimately decided that classic video games, when approached with discipline, offered the perfect controlled training ground for AI development. Their specific engineering target was creating a single algorithm capable of successfully playing several dozen distinct Atari games. This required combining Q-learning reinforcement techniques with deep learning methods at an unprecedented industrial scale. The learning agent was only fed the raw screen pixels and the current score, forcing it to construct all understanding from basic first principles. The very early testing phases were incredibly nerve-wracking, with the founders genuinely fearing they wouldn't even master the simple game of Pong. Then came the breakthrough. They scored their very first point, and the system eventually managed to win a complete game on its own. Just 3 months after that initial win, no professional human player could consistently beat their algorithm at Pong. The resulting Deep Q network algorithm was successfully generalized across 50 different games, achieving human performance, or even surpassing it. The massive breakthrough was that this one system learned successfully. No matter what new game situation it was instantly dropped into. In many critical ways, this represented the first working demonstration of what anyone could accurately label as a form of general intelligence. Having proven their general learning thesis, the team immediately set their sights on the ancient game of Go, considered the ultimate test in board gaming. Go is widely regarded as the most mathematically complex game ever devised by human beings. The number of possible legal board positions in Go actually exceeds the estimated number of atoms in the observable universe. For AI researchers, Go was the ultimate holy grail, because all previous attempts by computer programs had completely failed when playing it. AlphaGo was initially trained by studying 100,000 expert human games. Then it proceeded to play millions of simulated matches against itself. During the famous match against the legendary Lee Sedol, AlphaGo made a shocking move 37 that commentators universally agreed no professional human would ever have attempted. The system calculated that the probability of a human ever choosing that specific move was roughly 1 in 10,000. This proved AlphaGo had independently discovered a novel strategic concept within a game that had been intensely studied for millennia. When the computer finally secured the victory, the entire world immediately recognized that this monumental idea had undeniably succeeded. In geopolitical circles, this event was quickly dubbed China's Sputnik moment, mirroring the shock felt after the Soviet satellite launch decades earlier. That single match instantly ignited a massive worldwide competition, focused entirely on artificial intelligence advancement. After the breakthrough with AlphaGo, the research team quickly devised an approach that was far more mathematically elegant. They consciously stripped away every piece of human expert knowledge that had initially been fed into the original AlphaGo program. This new project was named AlphaZero, signifying that there was absolutely zero human information remaining in the training loop. Rather than relying on past human play data, AlphaZero learned entirely from playing millions of games against itself, essentially becoming its own ultimate teacher. AlphaZero served as a profound experiment testing just how minimal the initial seed knowledge needs to be for a system to learn rapidly and effectively. The system was not programmed with any established rules. Its entire understanding was derived purely from iterative self-experience. AlphaZero could begin the morning playing completely random moves, and by the afternoon tea break, achieve superhuman performance levels. By the time dinner arrived, it would consistently evolve into the single strongest chess entity to have ever existed. This pure learning process led it to develop unique attacking styles that completely astonished seasoned chess grandmasters. Remarkably, this singular algorithm was then generalized to master any two-player game, where all information is perfectly visible. Hassabis's initial grand ambition was always to deploy AI as the ultimate tool for solving the world's most complex scientific challenges. He had been deeply obsessed with cracking the notoriously difficult protein folding problem ever since his undergraduate days at Cambridge. At a fundamental level, proteins are the microscopic machines that build, maintain, and control virtually every single process in all of life. Successfully solving this puzzle could directly lead to designing new proteins to fight cancer, or even to efficiently break down environmental plastic waste. Hassabis strongly believed the problem was fundamentally solvable, but only by leveraging the massive computational power of advanced artificial intelligence. However, the very first iterations of their AlphaFold system proved unsuccessful, as the problem seemed to mock their efforts and literally laugh at you. The initial results from the Caspar petition revealed their predictions were actually no better than the decades-old methods already in use. That moment was profoundly humbling, as they realized they were currently the best in the world at solving a problem the rest of the world was not very good at tackling. The key lesson for any genius is that while ambition is vital, one must precisely align that ambition with the current technological timeline. There is absolutely no strategic benefit to being 50 years ahead of the curve. You will simply fail or burn out trying to do it too soon. They responded by doubling down, forming a specialized strike team to finally integrate deep domain knowledge and fundamental physics into their core algorithms.